guys, it's Julie. Welcome back to Row & Co Farms. A couple months ago I did a video reorganizing my pantry and it was a hit. Everybody has been watching this video. Everybody's also been watching a lot of my video of my Azure Standard grocery haul. And so what I thought I would do is just do a tour of my pantry, which will show you all the ways that we kind of store and use all of our pantry items, and just to kind of give you an idea of what a Homestead Pantry looks like and what most people who are cooking from scratch from their kitchen every single day, what kind of things they keep in their pantry. So let's go in and let's take a look at it. So as you enter our pantry, you come in and we have some of our baking goods here. We'll go over everything, but I'm just going to kind of give you an overview. So we have a pretty large pantry. This room here used to be part of our back porch, and you can kind of see how the ceiling slants down. That was the old, porch roof. So we had this room enclosed so that we would have a place to store food because our house is fairly small. So this is the overview of the room, and we'll just start right here. So this portion of the pantry houses the majority of my baking supplies. We'll go in here a little closer and you can see we'll start up at the top here, working our way over. So I am a gluten-free person. I cannot eat gluten. So we have lots of different gluten-free related items. I have just basic gluten-free flour, brown rice flour, potato starch, corn masa, things like that I will use to create different breads and types of things for myself. I do still keep regular flours as well for my family because they can still have those, and I do occasionally make things for them with that. We also keep honey. This was some honey that I got from Azure Standard. That was before we got our own bees, and now we have our own honey. There's also a large tub of coconut oil that we use for cooking. I have just some assorted baking supplies, yeast. There's a few food colorings in there. I don't tend to use those very often, but sometimes for a birthday cake, a kid wants a colorful cake. So then down here, the next shelf, we have cornmeal, just regular white sugar, oats, and einkorn flour. We love our einkorn flour. It's really delicious and buttery. We also have then again some more coconut oil that we use for cooking. Next row down here, we have pink Himalayan sea salt, and of course some of our farm fresh eggs. There's some raw sugar, honey, chocolate chips. Back behind there, we have whole wheat flour, some additional chocolate chips, just different percentages of chocolate. This is some of our honey from our bees. We also have some sucanat, some cacao powder, and there's also, I think, some powdered sugar back there in the back. So these are just some of the baking supplies that we keep. So next up here we have, of course, brown sugar. This is almond flour, again for gluten-free, and this is powdered sugar. Next up, we have, this is my coffee and tea area. So I buy my coffee beans from Azure Standard in bulk. And so when I get them home, I just put those in these glass jars. I have a few just store-bought coffees that I like as well that I have here. And then up here is just an assortment of tea. So you like having a good bit of tea on hand. So the next thing here is my fermentation area. So we do a lot of ferments of different things: kimchi, sauerkraut, sourdough starter. There's also kefir in the back. So yeah, we always have some different ferments going. We like to ferment foods, and we do eat a lot of fermented foods. I keep my dehydrator in here. I have some loofah sponges from last year, and in here in this is just a little drawer. This is just a bunch of gluten-free related items, just small things that I keep, but too many little things to try to decant into jars. So those are those items there. Next up, we'll work on looking at all of the home canned items. So let's take a look at all of the home canned items that we have, things that we've made here on the homestead ourselves or harvested ourselves. So right here on the end is fig preserves. We have a fig tree, and we do have quite a bit of that still available. Most of my family does not like fig. I'm the only one that eats it, so I end up with a lot of that. We have blackberry jam, and there's no more of that, so obviously we really like blackberry jam. We'll be definitely making some more of that, and that'll be coming up because you can see this was done in June of last year, so we made it, like almost made it a whole year and didn't run out. So next we have pears. We do have several pear trees outside, so these are just canned sliced pears. We did not get a harvest last year, so these are from a couple years ago. So we'll still be working on that. Next is peach jam. We love peach jam. I have 3 of those left, so we'll definitely be making more, and peaches are about to be in season again in another month or so. We also have then more pears. This here is, it was supposed to be strawberry jam, but it's strawberry sauce. And I use that to flavor my kombucha with, and that helps like give it a little fruity flavor, plus it adds a little sugar, which helps the ferment. More strawberry sauce here. Then we have strawberry jam from last year, and then this is the strawberry jam that I just made last week, and it looks really good. You can tell the difference in color in just a year's time. It does, tend to discolor just a little bit, but still perfectly good to eat. Next up here, we have, I believe this is mixed berry. No, this is still strawberry again. This is mixed berry. We had a freezer failure last year, and we had to massively can a whole bunch of things at once, and so I had a lot of berries, and I just mixed them all up and turned them into this load of jam so that we wouldn't lose all the fruit that we had. Next, these are just some tomato and roasted pepper spreads and different things like that, little condiment type things. More strawberry jam. I had a lot of that this year. And then back here, some different jellies that we use as well. So moving down to the next shelf. Wouldn't be a good homesteader if I didn't have some moonshine. We didn't make this. We do have a friend that makes it for us, and so we have that there. We have some more balsamic onion and fig preserves. This is really good, like on a flatbread kind of pizza situation. It's really nice. Have some chicken broth. This is my last one, so I'm definitely gonna have to make some more of that. Usually I just freeze it because I use it so frequently. Next, we have some of our honey from our bees. I have about 5 of these left, and we're gonna be harvesting honey in another month or so, so I'll be able to stock back up on that. This is cowboy candy marinade. Guys, if you don't make cowboy candy, I'll show it to you in a minute. You need to be making it. It is one of the best things you can make and can. It's jalapenos that have been candied, and they're just sweet and spicy, and you can put them on everything. So next row, all right, these are just some store-bought pickles, but I have 2 rows of dill pickles here that we made last year. Those are really good. And then I have just whole peeled tomatoes down here on the end. So that's that section there. I'm gonna move down. Next, we have just diced tomatoes that we did last year, and I still have a lot of those left, but we'll still do more tomatoes. This is the cowboy candy. We have 2 or 3 of these left, not many, and we have to make it till about August before we'll have peppers, and so I've told my husband 1 a month for the next 3 months, and we have to really space them out. Next is tomato sauce, again from our garden we made last year, pizzas and spaghetti and stuff like that. Next we have applesauce. We got these apples from an orchard up in the North Georgia mountains last year. We went and picked those and then came home and processed those. So we have a few jars of that left, but it was really delicious, and I'll be doing that again. These are black beans and chickpeas. I just canned these up last week. These were just dried beans from the store, put them in the pressure canner, and now we have, lots and lots of beans in here that'll last us for a year or so. Next, these are dragon's tongue beans. I did these last year from our garden. So yeah, we have lots of beans in our pantry right now, so that should last us for a while. And we like just having the convenience of being able to pull them straight out of the pantry and they're ready. I've got a couple rows of salsa here. Again, salsa and chips, we love that. It's easy, quick. Just pull it out and you're ready to go. Underneath here, these are just some of my store-bought canned items and a few jars of mason jars here, new jars. So, you know, just some different lima beans, baked beans, lots of beans. We eat a lot of beans here. Tomato paste. I like tomato paste. I don't really like to make my own because it just takes a long time and it just takes so many tomatoes that I just buy tomato paste. And then there's a few diced tomatoes as well there. All right, moving down. This is some of our kind of baking related items and then just some canned meat and fruit. So sweetened condensed coconut milk and then sweetened condensed milk just for baking and sweetening. We also keep coconut milk on hand, and then salmon, tuna, you know, for the regular salads and stuff like that, and then sardines, some peaches, some baby corn, different things. And then down here we have our, you know, cat food and dog food for our animals. All right, let's back it up here. So underneath the bottom here, underneath the fabric, I just keep basically all of my mason jars. They're ready for canning. I know you guys are probably like, oh my gosh, she's a hoarder of mason jars, but I have been getting mason jars at the store. Pretty much every time I make a trip to the grocery store, I will buy 1 pack of mason jars, and I have been doing that for years, and it just has served me well because last year there was a shortage of everything and I had enough, and I still have enough. So just to keep a different paper products, napkins, you know, sandwich bags, and more canning supplies down underneath here. So I don't have to really look at them or see them, but they're down there and they're easily accessible when I need them. So one of the features of the pantry that I really like is I painted this back wall with chalkboard paint, and I just keep track of ferments and different things like that up there. I can do shopping lists or whatever, but for the most part, it's easier for me to keep track of when I started my different ferments if I write them down, because you guys know fermenting, you have to keep those things around for sometimes years, months, and you just need to know when those were started. So that's what we have there. All right, moving around, we have the other side of the pantry. So on the end here is just where I store all of my cleaning supplies. It's just the best place that I have to put them because it's near my kitchen. So let's move over here. We won't go in real big detail up at the top because it's not perfectly clean or anything, but at the very, very top shelf, all the way across, are just things that I don't use very often. Just different kitchen equipment, ice cream maker, bags, coolers, things like that. The next shelf here, right up right here, these are just different animal, cat and dog supplies, medicines, treats, and the like. So we don't have to get into all that. This next shelf here is seeds. So pepitas, sunflower seeds, hemp seeds, chia seeds, popcorn. There's some ground flax and some regular flax. So we use all those. Seeds are very important for your health. Next we have all of our vinegars, balsamic, rice vinegar, white vinegar, you know, champagne vinegar, balsamic vinegar, apple cider vinegar, all of the vinegars, we use them all. It's very important. All right, moving down, we have all of our nuts. I have hazelnuts, walnuts, cashews, almonds, slivered almonds, pecans, and this is just quick and easy, guys. We use these for all kinds of different things. We put them in salads, make cookies and things with them. We eat them in trail mix. We come just grab a handful when we just need a bite really quickly to eat. Next up, I have some different dehydrated things like carrots. This is celery, garlic, and carrots all together. So that's nice for like a soup or something like that. And then here again, just carrots. We have some dried chilies and some sun-dried tomatoes in here from our garden last year. Next, we have all of our dried fruits, cranberries, golden raisins, different coconut. I think I have a sweetened and an unsweetened coconut. We're running low on those, so we'll order from Azure. Next time we order, we'll go ahead and order coconut. So dates, apricots, raisins, mango, cherries, and I think these are blueberries. So just a great assortment of those fruits and things like that. Fruits and dried nuts, seeds, we just use those a great deal. Okay, moving down, of course, as you can see, onions and garlic. And in these two baskets, I keep different kinds of potatoes. So those are all in there. And that's mainly to keep them out of the light because potatoes need to stay dark. Okay, so we'll go back up here. Well, we can go up a little more, but again, these are just items that I don't use very often. So that's just the high storage up there. So moving down, here are all of our different pastas, rices, grains, beans. So these are standard whole wheat pastas. All of these are. My family can eat those. I cannot, but I do keep a whole section of gluten-free pasta as well. Rice is fine. I'm allowed to eat that. Beans are fine. I can eat that. Grits. If you're from the South, you know grits. We love them. We eat them in all kinds of different things, whether they be dinner or breakfast. So then again, rice, long grain, arborio, some quinoa, lentils, and then more beans, peas, and things like that. So you won't see a lot of processed items in the pantry. We're gonna get into that section right now, and that's right here. These are our snacks. We all have them. I'm not gonna act like we eat nothing but healthy food all the time, but we do have some snacks. We have Chex Mix and Ritz and, you know, some natural Jif and just different things like that. So I'm not gonna brag on my snacks, but we do have snacks. So we just try to keep those things to a minimum, you know, rather than the whole pantry be full of those items. It's just a few things. So next up are the different oils that we use. And we try to use as few processed oils. So I'm gonna be honest, this is not good oil to use. I very, very, very infrequently use this. And honestly, the only time I really use it is when I'm making my own mayonnaise. I like to have just a little bit of this in my mayonnaise when I make it. So we keep avocado oil, olive oil, sesame oil. This is a little bit of organic canola oil, and actually this is better. I've been using this in my mayonnaise, and that's been a little better. We have ghee. Haven't been using that as much recently because I can't have animal fats, so that's been on the back burner, but we've been using all the rest. All right, moving down. This is our what's left of our sweet potato harvest from last year, so we need to start working on those because we're going to have more this summer. This is just my baking soda and then some diatomaceous earth, which is a powder we use in the garden sometimes to help prevent pests. This next box is overflow, so this is really heavy. Let's see here. So we have just the bags of things that will fill up other jars. So my sea salt are in here. There's different flours and mixes, and those will go then to fill up, you know, the jars over there. Okay, so those are those items there. Next up, Again, we're not perfect. These are different nut butters. My daughter loves Nutella and peanut butter, and she's 17 years old, and she wants a Nutella and peanut butter sandwich every single day when she goes to school, and she's wanted that for years, and I just don't fight her on it anymore. So she gets Nutella and peanut butter. But then we also keep the good kind of peanut butter, 100% peanut crunchy rather than the Jif. But we just really love Jif. It's just good. Almond butter and some different protein powders and stuff like that are in there. This is just some condiments and extras, mustards, some applesauce, barbecue sauce, hazelnut milk, some veggie broth, and just a couple of salad dressings and things like that. Just extras, ketchup that we like to keep on hand. And then the last section here is the gluten-free pastas. So just kind of, you know, rotinis and things like that. And then there's some rice noodles, you know, kind of the Asian stuff. And then there's also, these are kind of neat. I found these recently. This is a red lentil pasta. So spaghetti, and then I have some fettuccine too. So I'm gonna try those out. But yeah, this is, okay, I didn't go up here. So let's go up here. So these are just some of our many used appliances, things that we use more frequently, but things that I don't really want on my counter. So up top, these are my canning pots, my water bath canner, my pressure canner. I have a food saver, my juicer, my Ninja blenders and food processor, my coffee maker. I've retired it to the pantry because I use my French press every day. Waffle maker, of course, a nice Dutch oven, an Instant Pot, and a crock pot. I probably could get rid of the crock pot, but I use it for making soap, so we'll keep it a little longer. All right, so then at the very bottom here under the fabric are my 5-gallon buckets, which are filled with all of my bulk items. So we'll look down here at what we have. So under here is sucanat and sugar. I'm trying to see what that's back there. Is more sucanat, which is just a sugar alternative, sort of. Then we have oats here. So basically we have a whole series of buckets all throughout the bottom here that contain the things like the cornmeal, the rice, all of the things that will then come up and fill these jars. So that's my backup down there at the bottom. I also keep some dog food and cat food down here at the bottom in these buckets that I need to get to every day so we can, you know, feed our animals. So this was the pantry tour, guys. I hope this was interesting to you to see how we use these different items and the things that we keep on hand. We just find a recipe and we can cook from scratch. And let's be honest, there's a lot of stuff in here, so I can pretty much cook whatever I want. Because we also have our freezers, which are full with meat and vegetables that we can go and select from as well. So instead of just running to the grocery store, I go to my pantry and choose what I need. So as an end to this presentation today, I guess, to the tour, I wanted to answer just a few questions that people have asked me. And so what I'm gonna do is just kind of go over a couple of the questions that I've been asked, which is, one is, are you a prepper? And I would say no, I'm not a prepper. We are prepared. We do keep enough food on hand to last us for 6 months to a year, probably, maybe 9 months. But we keep those things on hand, and we have the ability to also generate our own food with seeds and grow our own food and things like that. So while I wouldn't call myself a prepper, we are prepared, and we do keep the things on hand that we eat regularly. And I would suggest that anybody that wants to be prepared without being a prepper and just storing a whole bunch of random things that you may or may not use, that you just build your own storage of what you use every day, things that you know your family's going to eat, things that you love, and not just things that you may find cheap or that are dehydrated and completely freeze dried that you just won't enjoy. So when things get tough, you guys know last year we had the pandemic, there were lots of different shortages, and I'll be honest with you, we did not experience that. We were fine. We had all the things we needed. I would say toilet paper was probably the only place where, just like everybody else, there was a little struggle there for a while. Even with backups, we needed some stuff, but overall, when it came to food, we were prepared and we had what we needed and we never ran out. We had meat, we had vegetables, we had all the grains that we needed, and we were able to make bread and prepare all the things that you want during the times when things are tough. So I would just recommend to everyone that you don't have to be a prepper to be prepared. You just slowly build up those stores and use bulk buying whenever you can, so that you can maximize the money that you're spending and get more for your money. And so just when you can get things cheap and when you can get good quality, you get them, and you don't have to do it all at once. You just do a little bit at a time, and eventually you have a full pantry. And that's what we've done. This has taken many years. I'd say over the last 10 to get to the point where I feel like I have a system that works, where I keep the things that we need and use, and I don't just buy stuff that other people said that I should have. I don't buy those things anymore. I buy what we use, not what other people tell me that I should use in an emergency. So think about those things. I hope that helped you out. I hope you found this tour interesting. Please like and subscribe. Please comment and let me know. It really helps me out. It helps the channel out when you do that. So I look forward to seeing you guys next time at Row & Co Farms.